All right. Welcome to OnSet. I am Daniel Norton. Set's over here in the Mighty Mix. Our model today is the Casio Privia. So today we're going to do a little product photography. We're going to have a little fun with it. Now, you know, you can just do a basic product shot, but that's no fun. So we're gonna come in. We're gonna do details. We're gonna mess with the lighting a little bit, and we're gonna have some fun with some little miniatures as well. So we're gonna just have fun with this, kind of more of a thematic product shot. This is the kind of shot you might see as like an insert in an advertisement or something versus like that flat shot of just the thing, right? So I'm gonna use constant lights here because I thought it'd be fun to kind of work that way. Plus, I personally want to use my dado probably eventually, my dado light, which I have a focusing head on, so it's just a little easier for me to work completely in constant. So we've got 3 constant lights we're going to work with here. These are all, well, these, I don't know, there, Seth gave them to me. They're from Dan Light. This is a 500, this is a 120 color. And then I've got a little data light over there, which is like a 90 LED or something like that. You're not, let's be honest, you're not going to buy them right now, are you? So, but you will after this. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create some mood. This is obviously a high-end piano, a digital piano. And we want to create kind of a set where we're going to have a little bit of kind of shadow and texture, but also still show the product off correctly. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with just getting a baseline light. And I thought for this, I would use for my key light. By the way, ask me if you have any questions about anything. I'm going to use this a 500 watt light with a strip bank and a grid. So that's going to give me a narrow spread of light, right? And because the strip bank is actually shorter than the product, and I'm going to put it relatively close, we're going to get a bit of a vignette on there naturally. Because, you know, if you're on stage, like imagine I'm on stage right now. Do you get the music? We can't play any music because of YouTube rights and stuff. Just pretend whatever song you think this might be. Okay? Piano Man? No, don't say it. Billy Joel's coming after us. So, it was actually your song by Elton John. So I mean, yellow piano. So what we're going to do is if you were on stage playing the piano, you wouldn't have this big flat light, right? We're going to light it, not really as a spotlight, but kind of with the effect that it feels like the light's falling naturally on, because it's a professional piano. So we're going to start here. Again, this is a 500 watt light. I'm going to put it a little narrow here today. We didn't need that. All right. I don't know. I dropped something. So basically, we're going to boom this out over the top of our product and get a nice kind of general light over it. Now you could do this all kinds of ways. We could like backlight it. We could do anything. I thought this would be a nice place to start. If we have a different idea later, we could always change it. Hush falls over the crowd. Well, this is always the exciting part where you watch me move a light around. Oh, look, the light is moving. Ooh, exciting. Somebody in the audience is going to say, where's the sandbag, Daniel? All right, I'll get the sandbag. You know, this keyboard is quite nice. We don't want to damage it, so we're going to definitely put a sandbag on this stand. It's not for my safety, believe me. They've stopped caring about my safety a long time ago. All right. It's not using a C-stand and an arm. I mean, obviously, if you had a boom, that would also work, a proper boom. This will be fine. And I am, like I say, slightly backlighting it. Part of the reason for that is because even though the piano itself is shiny and you know, it's a yellow, basically, the keys are white, right? So I don't want the keys to get, I want the keys to get and fall into a little bit of darkness, so I'm going to make sure no light's hitting them directly. Let's fire this thing up. We will eventually kill the overheads, but let's at least get something rolling here. No? All right. Seth thinks we won't have to kill the overheads.
We're going to find out together, kids. That's the excitement.
I can already tell you we are. But let's see. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to boom this out like this. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And I'm just going to turn this like this. Now, one of the most important professional skills in lighting, want to look like a pro? Make sure your little tab here isn't hanging down. You walk onto a set, you see that thing hanging down, you know you're not working with a pro. Pros always know. That's why they have the extra piece of Velcro right there.
We're really tired, guys. Sorry.
All right, so let's. All right, so I'm gonna. The reason why we're using constant lights, as I said, or I didn't fully say it, but I started to say, is because I'm gonna be able to allow you guys to look through the camera a bit, so we can see. Oh, this is perfect. All right. You know what?
You want to put live view on?
This was too easy.
You want to put live view?
I think it's too good. It might be terrible. Well, we're not sure. No, all right. So this is what we're going for. Oh, that black really fell off nicely. All right. So we can see here that I had that vignette I was talking about, right? Right now I'm at 27.3 millimeter. I'm going to go to 24. No, I'm at 24. So I'll do the thing. Watch this. By the way, cinematic move. Ready? Get ready for this. Everybody's ready? That's what it looked like before we had stabilization. All right. All right, I'm gonna come up a little bit so we can feel that vignette. That worked too easy. Now, of course, we can see in the background the light, so we'll move that. Well, that's now box lift it up. Under the doof.
I want to explain that.
So what we're doing here, guys, is this actually comes with a really nice stand. And the reality is this is a very expensive keyboard, which if somebody here wants to buy it, it will save me a lot of time. So we open it up so we can photograph it. You're going to run into that a lot as a product photographer. They're going to send you product that you need to be very careful with because they're then going to sell it as an open box or something, because it's been used. But we don't even want to unpack the whole thing. So we haven't unpacked the stand. We haven't unpacked the little chair, although the chair was really nice. I was going to sit on it. It was also yellow. Nice. But we didn't need it for this shot, so we didn't unpack it. Instead, we decided to use Duvetine. This is Duvetine. This not the table. This black stuff. Duvetine basically is a light absorbing fabric. It's also fire resistant, which is very good when you're around me. And that's how we're getting that nice, clean black from this. All right. I mean, the black and yellow is kind of nice, like a bumblebee. Should we take a picture of it? Can we turn off all the lights? I just want to see what. So, I mean, all right. So we're turning off the lights for everybody online. I just want to make sure that just like we do with flash, that everything we're doing is from my light. So I want to see what the difference is. Oh yeah, that's actually still pretty good. No, I don't think you have to, because honestly, when you turn it back on, it doesn't make it that much dark. Yeah, turn the lights back on.
Oh, gee, what did I say before?
That was correct.
I've only built the space.
Seth has a light meter built right into his camera. All right, so does everybody. All right, let's just start like this. Because if I don't start one light at a time, then at the end I won't be able to kill time by showing you all the shots. So let's start. No, we're just going to get a shot. I almost feel like this was too easy. Was it too easy? I think so. Here we go. All right, taking a picture. It's not too easy. All right, so here we go. Let's see what we're actually getting. Enough joking. We're serious here. Serious photographers. All right. Yeah, it looks exactly the same because we're shooting with a constant light source. Nice and clean, right? People that were maybe here earlier might have noticed that there's a reflection across the top. Why is the yellow not reflecting and putting a big glare? The angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflectance. The light's coming down, it's bouncing straight back up. My camera's at this angle. That's why this is the same thing when you're talking about shooting glasses, anything that's reflective. Make sure that your light is going to bounce, right? Not towards your lens. If I put the light like this, it would go boing, boing into the lens, we'd have a flare, a shine. That's why there's no shine there. I want to mention that because a lot of times I'll just do it without saying anything and then people will maybe not get that point. That's really important when you're lighting product. That being said, sometimes you want something to have shine. Let's say it's leather, right? Sometimes you want that sheen. So you got to kind of pay attention to that as well. I think this is good, but I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to see if we can get any kind of this thing does actually light up a little bit, but I have a feeling that it's not going to be bright enough to really show up here. Yeah, not really. Oh, that's really cool. You can't see it because I forgot to turn the live view back on, but that's okay. All right, it's lit back up.
Oh, the flicker rate.
Ah, it's flickering.
Yeah, look.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see if we see it at all. Oh, yeah, we see it. Okay, so you got a couple options here. If we're in a completely black space, we could and maybe we'll do this. We could turn all the lights off so that we could just dim this, right? That might work. The other thing we could do is turn them all off, period, which is probably what I would do, and just photograph for the lights, combine them in post, like 2 different layers in Photoshop, right? So let's actually do it without the light. Let me just see what it looks like if we do this. Well, nothing, it doesn't look like anything. Okay, we'll do it this way. All right. I'm gonna take a shot with just the, so right now, by the way, I was at my flash settings because that's how I roll. But I'm gonna keep my aperture and my ISO the same, because if you want to blend 2 pictures together, you don't want the ISO and stuff, then the aperture to be different, right? Because it's gonna blend together. So I'm just gonna lower my shutter speed. Well, that's so funny. You can see that flicker like crazy. And we'll get a shot. Oh yeah, look at that. That's how you quick capture one. Going home. And yes, I mean, the depth of field doesn't allow for them to be super sharp, but they're lined up with the other shot, and we have them there if we want to bring them back up, so we can combine the 2 shots. Another option might be to light the keyboard, and maybe we'll do that as we're rolling, where we won't light the back of it. So we'll play around. But for now, let's start with the real basic shot that we were getting before, which is this guy. Okay. Basic shot here. I'm going to bring my shutter speed back, otherwise I'll be overexposed, to 200th. And again, I'm doing product shots, so I don't have to worry too much about movement, right? The keyboard's probably not going anywhere. It might, but it's hard to tell. I am going to go to F8 though, you know, because F8, when you're shooting product, seems like a place to be. Let's do another baseline shot. Now I want to have a little more depth of field, that's why. You can do things like focus stack and all that wonderful stuff. We're not going to worry about that for this. Again, we're just kind of having fun working our way through some basic product stuff. Does that all make sense so far? Simple, right? Even light across the top of a product. We've got a bit of a vignette to create a little bit of a feel for the space, to bring the eye into the center of the keyboard. And then that's it, right? We could throw a little bit of light into the scene, and that's what this light in the back was going to do. We have a light. Yes, sir.
So if you wanted to all the flickering lights, what is the argument against, I guess, increasing your shutter speed so you just catch them all at once?
Okay, so you're asking about the lights flickering and the shutter speed to catch them all at once. That's not that. The flicker has to do with the refresh rate of the camera not seeing it. When you look at the shot where I show them, they're all lit.
Actually, just run the live view, you'll see it.
Yeah, but I think what they were thinking was that when it was flickering, they weren't all fire. You couldn't catch them all at once. They are on all at once. It's just that flicker rate is messing with the camera, the way the camera sees it in the live view, not in the actual shot. You get that issue with video. It used to be a big issue with video. We would be like, everything would be like, what's the flicker rate? When people would ask about new lights and stuff, because with the, your digital video cameras, DSLRs, mirrorless and stuff, if something's flickering weird, it can create oddities in the video. But since we're not shooting a video, we don't have to worry about that. I mean, we're shooting a video here, but not for the thing. Okay, we're gonna fire this guy up like this. Now, we all know the opposite of yellow is
Green, purple.
Are you saying green because it's there? That was good. No, it's purple. There you go. Well, I'm just saying it was good that you kind of was reading into the scene. You're reading it wrong, but you're still reading. All right. So what I'm going to do here is, actually, let's do this in 2 pieces because, it's a demo and all that. We're going to put the live view back on. No. This is what we're getting from these lights. How long have I been on mute? For the whole time? Okay, good. Because that'd be amazing. It's becoming a thing with me. All right, we can look and see. Narrow all the way. Oh yeah, look at that. You can see that? Don't worry about the flicker. I'm going to open up the shutter speed a little bit so you guys can see, because maybe it's a little bit hard to see. So here we got a little blue on the wall. I feel like that looks like nothing, right? So we're going to try to position it in a way that looks a little better. And I think that will be by going lower and like that. Huh? Am I still in live view? Yeah, okay. Cool. How's that? Yeah, well, I can see it in the shot then. Yeah, we have a. All right.
What you're swinging on?
I might have to, yeah.
Doing
Yes. So that's going to put an arm this, we can get it lower. Right now our light's a little bit too high. You could Photoshop it out later, but nobody wants to do that. Plus, I don't, my Photoshop, license expired. So right now I'm using GIMP. Nobody wants to use GIMP. Yes.
Well, I think that light is giving it a shadow.
Do you think that? Yeah, maybe.
For me, from where I'm sitting.
Yeah, it does seem that way. So what he's saying is he's thinking that this light here is giving a shadow from this softbox. But
If you were using flash, it wouldn't matter.
if I was using flash, it wouldn't matter. Well, exposure is what matters, right? So do we see, oh, look at that. Look at that silhouette. That's a beautiful silhouette, as I said. All right. Do we see a shadow on the wall besides Seth? Okay, so sometimes, see, there's Seth's shadow.
now they see.
Okay, sometimes when you are looking at something with your eye, you have to consider that, right, obviously flash, you can wipe it out, but also very strong exposure from the constant light can also remove it. So we don't see that shadow in the shot, but it is something to be aware of. You know, I think for most of you, correct me if I'm wrong, you're probably not doing a live stream to YouTube every time you do a product shoot, right? Is that true, or does anybody else do? Okay, yeah, so you're probably not going to worry about the lights in the
I
background.
don't know if that's working.
Yeah,
Too
no,
hot.
too high. All right, we're gonna go back to live view here. Actually, that's kind of cool. It's like a little moonbeam. No, go a little higher. Yeah, so it's like just touching the top of the, and then come over to the right, camera right. So it's just in the center. Oh, look at that. A little more, a little more, a little more. Right, stop, go back. Good, perfect. All right. It's important when you direct somebody to always make them go a little too far. All right, so I was just centering it over the middle. I like it. I like that. Let's see what it looks like.
You have to burn that in.
Turn that guy back on for me. Oh, I got it. Sorry. All right. Focusing. I'm at 1/8 of a second. Sorry, 1/8. I'm at f8, 1/40th of a second. At this point, we might need to leave some of these lights, but let's just shoot this and see. Okay. We got a little bit of blue going on. It's like a cloud back there. In other words, the paper's wrinkled, but it looks good. Kind of want something in the front, don't we? It's a little too floating out there, right? I think we want to give a little light to the front of it. So let's use the dado for that. So here I have a dado light. The dado light's not heavy, but the stand is. This is another LED. You want to go lower? Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right, we're pitching. Okay.
We got room for words.
Okay. All right. You know what? I feel like we're not getting much of a vignette as we were getting before. Why is that?
Yeah, blue.
Huh. Okay. Going a little lower with this light. Well, what's happening is we're getting a little washed out now, I think, too, because we're shooting at a 40th. But I liked how it was. I liked how it was subtle. Creative vision. It's good. It looks wonderful. Thank you. It's okay. We're working together. Teamwork. All right. So, all right. We got the little blue on the background. I'm gonna throw a little light in the front. I need to plug it in though. So we're gonna plug this guy in. Actually, I'll do it from this side because that's where the power is. First rule of photography, always light from where the power is. All right. I'm gonna plug this guy in here. Okay. And up. So I'm gonna just like rake a little bit of light across the top of this. Not the top, the front. I think I don't need this arm, actually. We're going to lose the arm. Now remember, if you've already used the arm for at least part of the shoot, you can still charge for it. Don't worry about it. Still one C-stand complete. And look, tennis ball in the end. Who knows why that tennis ball is there? The legend of this space.
Because Flashpoint has to sell them.
Years ago at the US Open, there was a photographer. All right. All right. You ready? So what we're doing here is building some three-dimensionality to the shot because, do I not on live view again? All right, guys. All right, we're trying to build some three-dimensionality to the shot, right? We want to bring the person in, have them linger on the keys, and then kind of go off, right? So now I'm kicking this light into the front. And again, I'm still working with that idea of the vignette, right? So you can see that I'm just lighting, look at the front of the keyboard in the middle. I'm gonna turn the light off. Huh? Right? See? Subtle. It has to feel like it's natural with the shot, right? It's feeling like it kind of goes together. We're in this kind of vignetted space, everything's kind of dropping us into the center, right? That makes sense? Turn this back on again. Okay. Let's see what we got. I'm going to go a little bit lower with my focus point. I'm switching my focus point to single. And I'm going to move down to just the center of the keyboard, right at those keys. I know I'm a little off center, but you know, I was born that way. And now we're getting a nice lead in, right? We can see where we're pulling into the middle here. And you always put it on the thing, the magnifier. We get a nice clean shot about the keys. The front of the keyboard's lit up, right? Excellent, right? Easy, simple. All right. We got that, right? Okay. No questions, nothing. So that's our basic shot, right? So we got a basic shot of a keyboard. Do we need to show the whole thing? It really depends. If you're doing a shot for like a catalog, you're going to want a shot maybe that shows the whole thing. If you're doing something more editorial purposes, you could do just parts of it like this. We're trying to paint a scene. Now we're going to go in and we're going to catch some details. One thing that's nice to do is just kind of leave the lights the way they are and kind of move around the camera and grab these details. If we need to adjust the lights, we will. But if they work with the same lighting, that's going to be all the better for us. Things will look more consistent and it's less work. You know, I always like to do less work. So we know it's called what brand is this? I said at the beginning, for 20 points. No, it's like I'm playing Family Feud over here. Casio, right? I mean, what other keyboard brand do you know? Come on, let's be honest. You're out of here. All right. Those are motorcycles, sir.
In the 80s, Dan played the keytar in a band.
I did, yeah. I was all about the keytar. Okay.
He had rolled up sleeves, the whole thing.
I did have rolled up sleeves. All right, we're gonna go a little lower. Now, one thing we have to consider here is when you're doing something that's like let's say I was using flash or I wanted to crank my ISO or whatever, I could get my shutter speed up so I could hand hold the camera and just walk around and be like, detail, detail, which can be fun. But if you're doing a commercial project for a client and then you bring the camera in your hand and you hold it and you take a shot and they're like, oh, I love exactly that, but could you tweak the light a little bit? Believe me, you'll spend a long time trying to get that exact frame again. That's why even when it seems like it's a little clunky, I still try to use a tripod for this kind of thing. Plus, we know it's cool to use a tripod. It's super cool. Only the cool kids use tripods these days. Supreme brand tripods. All right, let's see. Supreme. All right. Random picture. Okay. All right, so we're coming in. It's a smidge dark. Now, what are we not using? Which light's not affecting the shot? The dado, right? Is that what you said? I hope so, because that's the one it's not using. We can take this light and we can move it. So let's say we want to get a little more love to the Casio. The Casio. Casio, sir. You're going to get me in trouble here. All right. We can come over here. One of the great things about product photography is you don't have to have any friends. So, you know.
That's why Dan's so good at this. Years of practice.
Yeah.
Years and years of practice.
And you can go about this a lot of different ways, right? You can stand here and talk to the audience, or you can shoot. But when we have it like this, right, we can, what I like to do with anything that's kind of, I'm going for more of a natural feel, we kind of bring it in. There's names for this, Rembrandt or something, I don't know. But basically, we're just going to kind of slide it in until it looks right to us.
Reciprocity failure.
Reciprocity failure. You know, like here, that doesn't look good, right? That looks bad. Why does it look bad?
Shadows.
Because of shadows. Shadows ugly. It doesn't serve any point. Shadows can be beautiful. At least that's what my mom says. But it doesn't serve any purpose here, right? It looks bad. So we'll get rid of the shadow, right? Oh. Let's do this first. Now you see it flickering, right? It's not going to flicker in the stills. I'm on single point autofocus, so I'm just kind of using the touch screen in the back. Don't look back like 15 years when I used to do these videos and I was like, why would they put a touch screen on the back of a camera? It's the best thing in the world, let's be honest.
Until your nose touches it.
Until your nose touches it. Casio, keyboard, done. Shadow still there, but not ugly because it's subtle, right? Now, what is this, right? This is the keyboard. So the keyboard is a kind of piano, right? So what if, this is where I have fun. I don't know if you guys are having fun, but I am. And that's all that matters because, you know, in life you can't, I think that's the drummer. Where's the piano player? Is this guy the piano player? Yes, it is. All right, so, piano. Is that in the shot? It is, right? And a little piano. Oh. All right, well, hold on. Forget all that. All right. The piano. Is it? No? Okay, we'll change the frame. Now, we're not going to show this piano player's face because we don't want to pay for the model fees. All right. Oh, yeah, no, he's there. He's throwing a little shadow over the Casio, though, right? We don't want that because Casio, you know, they're throwing the big bucks at us here. So can't have that. No matter what we do here, right? We could do that, it's gone, right? But now it's flat and ugly. So what do we have to do? Move it to the other side, right? What's that?
I would put the piano on the other side.
That would also work. So there's two options here. We'll do Seth's cheating option first.
See him play.
You're not supposed to show his face. We don't have model fees. That's okay. All right, we got that, right?
Witness protection program piano player. Is that what we got?
All right, so we got the barn doors. All right, we got the little piano player.
It's a little dark.
He's a little dark on that side, no? All right, so we're gonna, that might be, oh, that's the color temperature. All right, so I'm adjusting the color temperature on here to be 55,000 because that's what my camera set at, 5,000, not 55,000. All right, and I'm gonna turn the power up. Okay, that's all we got though. Is that enough? No. All right, so I'm gonna,
I don't think it's pointed close enough to the swing.
yeah, I feel like the whole thing has to be. Yeah.
Maybe we swing that purple. Like
Yeah, I think so. All right. All right, we got that. It's a little too bright. Dim it down a little bit. And as Seth said, maybe we get that purple. Want to kick back on the.
Just swing it back. Here, Dan. Watch.
Oh, thank you. I can't see that. I'm blind as a bat. But thank you. Actually, maybe I'll do a little. Is that going to reach? Oh, did I give him a little rim? Are you guys getting blinded?
Getting a rim light on the piano, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Little purple rim? Yeah. Okay, so a little more depth. Right now we're in F8, so I'm going to do math, right? So let's go to F16, which is 2 stops. So we're going to go 2 stops this way. You can also just look at the picture and make sure it looks right. Oh, yeah. Man, these $75 little figurines I bought were totally worth it. Yeah, I did. Yeah. Leave me on the background. Yeah, I was just seeing what that looked like. I kind of like it on him, though.
You have to take the shot. Don't just walk away from it.
I did.
Oh, yeah.
No. Work it. Oh, yeah, look this way. Oh, yeah, that's good. Little up a little bit. Good. Okay. All right, got it. Now, let's go. Let's hit the background with the, okay, camera, background. Can you throw the live view on? Yes, I can see it. Oh, I was on it the whole time. You guys couldn't see me working it? Okay. Am I seeing that? No, that's not behind it, right?
I think you have to chuck it.
No. Well, I'm going from the other side. It's easier from this side.
You want to do it?
Yeah. I got to come on the side to do it. Oh. I'm trying to get it behind the subject. Oh, the camera is f16, 1/10 of a second, 100 ISO. Yeah, is that behind me now?
Where is that? Your focal point. You use-
I'm focusing on the word Casio.
No, I mean,
So-
like in the settings.
In the settings, what's the focus? I have no idea what that means.
Like, is it for the whole
No, I have single shot.
single-
Yeah, single shot is my autofocus. I'm focusing on the piano player. Well, actually on Casio on the ground.
There it is, right?
Okay, got it.
I gotta-
We need a little more oomph.
I think I picked up your eye. There we go. There it is. There it is. Right there. Look. Now look.
All right, perfect. Seth has got the thing in the right spot. Thank you, Seth. I think I'm gonna, actually, let's just go with this. It looks good. So what I'm doing here, just for simplicity, now you can also shoot from Capture One as well if you've already preset your focus. If I was down at like half a second or something, I was nervous about shaking the camera, 10th we should still be fine. So I'm just gonna use my single point focus and I'm just gonna tap right where the Casio is and it's gonna take a shot.
Oh, you got a reflection of them too.
Yep. Boom, there it is.
Look at that reflection.
And a hush falls over the crowd. Now one clap.
Not one clap.
that?
No. Pretend like it's a
Well, I
live
got a
figure.
golf clap in the far
Questions?
back.
Thoughts, concerns?
Oh,
No?
there's concerns. Actually, can you shoot just him in the logo? Can you get
Yeah,
that right?
I can. All right, so let's get in. Let's zoom in a little bit. So I'm using the 24 to 120, so it's not really a true macro lens, but I can still get pretty darn close with this. Oop, did I shake the camera? Hold on, I didn't tighten it enough. There we go. So here, of course, I'm moving in closer, so we're going to end up with much more shallow depth of field, but I think we're still okay. The Casio is mostly in focus.
That's live view.
No. Yeah, there we go. Got the reflection. Casio's in focus. Got a little blue in the background. We know it's a keyboard, you know, because right there. Well, you can't see because it's not in live view. You know, we can see the key down here where the keyboard is.
Right.
Now, what?
Just for size reference for online.
Oh.
That's a,
Do not photocopy that money and make your own counterfeit at home.
All
It's not
right.
legal.
figure. I don't think they realize how tiny your work.
Oh, he's little. Musicians charge you by their size. So we had to go. Now I do have a drummer.
$75, right? So
Yeah.
is $75 for all the figurines or one?
No, I think it was like $5. I was kidding. I mean, I'm charging Adorama $75, but just don't tell them. Oh, we're on a live stream. Sorry, that's okay. They never watch, so it's all right.
They never watch.
Nobody from Adorama watches us, so we don't have to worry about
You're getting a cool reflection this way.
it. Is the drummer going to block the Casio completely? That's not how
Someone's
drums work.
asking where you actually got the miniatures.
So I got them from this tiny little website online where you can get just about everything. We don't mention that here, sir.
You shop
Boy, you and the
There's
brands.
plenty of hobby shops in your local
Yes,
area.
go to your
You-
local hobby shop.
You don't buy from a soulless jungle named website.
Yeah, these are
Supports no one.
there you go. Scenic accents. I don't know where the camera is. Doesn't matter. Here we go. Boom. Is it in the shot? Yeah. Clearly, I'm not a drummer, so we'll see. He cannot reach this drum over here. Is that even a drum? All right, there we go. In case you haven't noticed before, I'm not great with little precise things. So, of course, I decided to do tiny miniatures. Well, I asked for the budget for a full band for the Casio. This is what they gave me. All right. Oh, yeah, drummer's there. Band's all here. All right, we're going to go. This one's going to be a trickier depth of field. So I'm kind of just focusing on the Casio because I feel like that's the most important part at this point. And we got a drummer if we want to do that too. We got a little band going on. Right? No, nothing. No band. No, they don't like music around here.
Yeah, the shadow on the.
You know, that doesn't bother me. That's a good question. So shadows, right? You got to kind of play them by ear. Do you like the shadow? Do you not like the shadow? I feel like they work here. If you didn't like that, then again, it would just be a matter of changing. Probably I could come up. Let me get this out of the way. I could shorten the shadows by raising the light, right? Oh, we're not looking at the right live view anymore. Yeah, see, I made it shorter, and when you could go even higher with it, you know, you could.
But look how fast his exposure changes just from a little bit of distance, right?
Yeah.
When you're working this small, everything's exaggerated. Every inch is like feet in normal ratio,
Yeah.
right?
Right. So, you know, you can kind of decide how you want to operate if you like that. And I could also put the light behind them. I could move them, you know. But I think for that shot, I like that. I like the shadow. It doesn't bother me. Okay. Other questions, thoughts, concerns? No? Okay. So if we want to show, let's say, a depth across the keyboard, that could be another fun shot. We can basically point the, now I'm like Jim Morrison. Wait, back to the audience. You know, this is kind of a classic shot that you see people do, right? Down the keys. Am I on live view? Yes, I am. Okay. So we can definitely do this. You know, and depending on the client brief, you may or may not need to have the word Casio in every single shot, right? It kind of depends on what you're doing. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'll.
Also, don't forget, this doesn't just have to be product photography. This could be stock photography.
That's
You
right.
could find objects that would be worth some money while you
we're not
sleep going to a stock photography site. I made a lot of money in my sleep when I was like 10, 15 years ago of a shot of a light bulb that got bought like a million times.
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I don't know why it sold, but
Boy.
it did.
Yeah, I know why. A light bulb. That's a good idea.
Hate you more every day. Oh no, your mic's cutting out. We're losing the stream. I don't know what's happening. Someone save me. Someone hire me. Get me out of here.
All right. So we can use.
No, but you don't think someone could use a keyboard shot somewhere like, so it doesn't have to just be a product for a company or a brand. Like just go shoot stuff, you know? Actually, another one I sold a lot of, a ruler. I shot every inch of a ruler and various inches sold. No, shut
Yeah.
up. Shut up. You remember when we used to do this?
Yes. Oh my God.
Man, those are the days.
Those are the days.
If you had nothing going on in your studio, you shot whatever you could find, put onto, I think it was like iStock photo or something like that.
Yep. I still.
And then you would like hope that you would buy it.
Here's some stock video for you. That's just breathing. Right?
Honestly, yes, there is still money in stock photography because
Yeah.
people do want to have the ability to use the image and at a resolution.
Yeah, and you usually get it on for things like where people are using it for like a newsletter or something like that. I mean, you're probably not going to get too much major advertising from.
People buy it and they use it as a background for their website or something like
Yeah.
that. Their menu page or whatever. Either way, it sharpens your skills, puts it out there. Even if it made $1, it's $1 you didn't have, right?
That is a dollar I didn't have.
Lost many dollars.
All right, so we're going to move him down the keyboard a little bit. You'll see me try to set it up like 12 times here. All right, he's rocking it like that. And we can see now that, oh, actually, we could do this like a silhouette.
Actually, this also shows prop styling, right?
Yeah, it
Piece for your portfolio, right?
does.
And I'll keep
kinda like
making
that blue
stuff
back
up
there.
as we go along. Don't worry. The keys look nice.
That looks bad, right? Yeah, okay. I know.
Blue looks good though.
The blue looks good. Seth did a good job with the blue. Can we get a round of applause for Seth in the blue? Yeah, it's the packaging over there.
Is that what this is?
Yeah, that's the packaging.
Oh, there's more people.
Yeah, oh yeah, there's so many people. Okay, so this is going to take me a second. So everybody, talk among yourself. I'm going to switch out here and use a projection head so that we can really narrow in on the musicians. Any questions while I do this? So you can get these, actually, they're pretty well available. You can get them for strobes now. I think. Yes, question. It's for Seth.
You said you can use your photos to sell to stock. I thought, do you know any other website?
Honestly, so the question is, what websites you recommend for stock photography? Honestly, the more you can get on, the better, in my opinion, because it's just a wider net. You
Yeah.
know?
Just make sure they don't say that it's exclusive.
Yeah, exclusive.
Look at your contracts. Make sure you're getting paid fair. There's a way to track everything that it's not exclusive.
And the better ones, not all of them do this, but the better ones will let you sell at higher price points per resolution. So if someone needs at a higher resolution for like an actual print versus someone that needs just for like a splash page, and that's where you really want to pay attention. But as long as you're not exclusive, get it wherever you can. And make sure it's something you don't care about. All right? It has to be a shot that you're shooting for stock.
I'm crooked, right? Yeah. I'm crooked. Story of my life.
Dan has one Converse worn down more than the other.
That is the
So
truth. So luckily, these cameras have levels inside of them. I'm making it less level now. What we need is the different head, but I'm not going to switch it. No. Okay. Okay, I'm just leveling up a little bit. All right. Yeah, so we got a little spotlight on the.
it's so lonely.
It is. I don't love all that front stuff though. I'm going to raise up and get rid of this. If you can see, I'm not in live view. I'm going to get rid of the little controller in the front. There we go. So just kind of getting my composition tougher. Okay. I don't think we need the drummer here. Nobody cares for the drummer. Come on now, let's admit, nobody likes the drummer, right? But you see how that we have that little sparkle of light on there, a little macro shot on the keyboard, simple, right? I kind of want to, I'm going to switch up this light in the background a little bit. Am I in live view? Yeah, please, sorry. Just want to spin this out a little bit. Just want to see if I can get a little bit more of a contrast. So all I'm doing is just obviously spinning the light. You can see me. I don't know how well people see me online. But I'm just kind of spinning this is one advantage of a strip box. We can see what we're getting there. So it feels a little bit more organic and natural. The other way I can add contrast here is by lowering it. You see how when I lower it, it gets brighter in the background, right? And darker in the front because the inverse square law, right? So now we've got basically, now this is more about that lone piano player home. They had a hard day. They're smoking a lot of cigarettes. Don't smoke. You know, and they're playing the piano, and it's less about this particular product. So when we're talking about stock photography, like Seth is saying, this is like more, you could do something like this that has a little bit more emotion and a little bit less specific product.
Piano lessons, $25. Meet me in this van. You know,
Right. Okay. No windowless van, yeah. Okay, questions, thoughts, concerns? Yes. Is it a concern? Because you didn't.
Gentleman said that,
Uh-oh.
he said, take a picture about something you don't care about.
No,
No, okay, so what are you saying there? So let me just repeat the question. So the person down said, Seth said something about take a picture about something you don't care about, but Seth will elaborate on that. But
I mean, you care about ownership of,
right.
not something you have interest in. But like, if you're going to put up on iStock and it's a picture of your mom, and you're like, you know what?
Right.
Use your head, right?
Yeah.
When I shoot for stock, or when I did rather, I shot before that intent. Whatever I was shooting was something I knew that would sell, something I'm not invested into emotionally or whatever. It's not for somebody else. It's not an image of somebody else for some other reason. In fact, if I did it with models, they were hired for that purpose. So when I say something like,
Right.
yeah, I'm not, you know.
Yeah, they have to know that, right? So if you're photographing stock for a model, they're going to know that, hey, this might be used for an advertisement for this, this, or that. So it's all something you got to pay attention to when you're doing it, right? And you can limit it. You can say, look, a stock agency that I'm with, I don't want my stock used for these kinds of things, alcohol, cigarettes, whatever, you know. Although you won't get any money then. All right, so tough kidding. Okay, so there we go, right? Simple, right? We're creating depth. We're kind of showing the features of the product, what it looks like, you know, and getting a little bit more kind of artistic, if you will, here at the end with the miniatures. But the idea here is the same, whether you're lighting a person, a product, or your lunch, right? Basically, you want to look for direction of light. You want to look for texture in light. You want to look for color in light and build a composition using it.
Oh, that's not the shot.
Oh, let me say that again now that I want to show the photo. Did give him a little backlight. Yeah, he's all right. He's doing all right. Now doesn't have any music up there on the thing. He just knows. Okay. Okay, cool. So anything next week? I'm done for the month. I know, 2 in a row. Thank you.
Next week is Mark, man.
Mark Mann is here next week on Thursday. The 26th of Thursday. You definitely want to come for that. 25th. That's Wednesday, right? Wednesday. Next Wednesday, be here. Mark Mann, amazing photographer, is going to be here. Going to talk about their work and show some, and it's going to be amazing. Yes, in the back. Yeah, you'll get the piano, yeah.
It's cost to sell. What's the average price for something like that?
What is the average price of this photo? You want to buy this?
No,
How much you got in your pocket?
depending on resolution, depending on the purpose.
As far as stock photography, you're going to have to look at each individual agent and ask them. You could sell a piece of stock photography for a major advertising for thousands of dollars. You could sell it for 25 cents to some website. This is not something that I'll be able to give you any kind of advice on at this moment. You got to go to the actual stock site. This is not a demo about stock photography. So
Yeah.
if you want a stock photography demo, then maybe we'll put one on the thing and we get somebody who's actually a person that's doing it today to talk about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the end, agreements are
Is this a
agreements.
stock photography
If
question?
someone's
Because if so,
agreeing,
okay, good.
then that's the agreement, right?
Okay.
It could be anything.
Okay, so what's,
The light modifier, what's that called?
okay, so let's run through the modifiers. Thank you. This right here is called a projection attachment or a projector, depending on what you're in. You can get them for flash or for constant lights. This is an LED data light. That's a nan light. It's I don't know what they call those, but it's basically like a focused head, right? It's not like panel, but you can put modifiers on it. This is a 16 by 36 strip softbox. And in the back, we just have a regular reflector, like a 5-inch reflector. Okay. Other questions? Nope. Okay, cool. So next week, 25th, be here, be square. I'm Daniel Norton. Seth, last ex-witness. The X is silent.
I still hate you, Dan. Guys, hit
Subscribe.
subscribe. Make sure you hit like. Dan feeds himself in validation of your likes, and I hear about it every day. Every day.
It's true.
Make sure you check out this QR code for the event schedule, and make sure you hit this QR code for the events channel. Everything else that's streamed out of here goes on that channel. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks, everybody. Be good. Bye. I'm out later.